She notices it in the exhaustion, in that weariness that sleep doesn't cure. She's always doing, planning, solving, caring. She remembers his birthday, his family's problems, his dreams. She cancels her commitments when he needs her, listens for hours when he wants to vent, makes surprises, leaves notes, sends loving messages. She gives attention, gives time, gives energy, gives love. But when she needs, he's tired, he's busy, he's not in the right headspace now. And she swallows the disappointment, smiles, and says it's fine, because she's already learned not to expect reciprocity, already got used to being the one who cares while he's the one being cared for. And late at night, exhausted from giving so much and receiving so little, the question haunts her. Why do I keep doing this? Why can't I simply stop giving? This is the silent exhaustion of women who give more than they receive. And today we're unveiling the devastating psychology behind this pattern. Because it's not generosity, it's not true love, it's something much deeper and more painful. It's an unconscious attempt to buy love, prove worth, and fill voids that cannot be filled by giving more. And without understanding what really makes her give so much to those who give her so little, she'll spend her life emptying herself for people who will never fill her back. Let's start by dismantling the illusion she carries. She doesn't give too much because she's loving. She gives too much because she was conditioned to believe her value is in what she does, not in who she is. And this has deep roots in anxious attachment psychology. When she grows up in an environment where affection was conditional and unpredictable, where she only received attention when she was useful, when she behaved well, when she met others' needs, her brain learned a dangerous equation. Love equals effort. She learned that if she wants to be loved, she needs to earn it, constantly, without stopping, because the moment she stops giving, she risks being abandoned. So she developed what psychologists call relational hyperfunctioning. She anticipates needs, solves problems that aren't hers, carries others' emotional weights, and takes pride in it, calls it caring, loving, being supportive. But deep down, it's none of those things. It's fear of abandonment disguised as generosity. And when she's in a relationship where she gives 80% and he gives 20%, something inside her doesn't see this as an imbalance to be corrected. Sees it as confirmation that she needs to give even more to finally receive. Her unconscious whispers, if I give more, if I'm more useful, more present, more everything, he'll finally reciprocate. Finally, I'll be loved the way I love. But the brutal truth is, the more she gives without receiving, the more he gets used to receiving without giving. And she teaches him that her love has no price, because she sells it too cheap. Now the question arises, why does she specifically do this? Why can't she simply give less? Because the pattern of giving too much started long before this relationship. If she was parentified in childhood, that child who took care of the adults, who was the emotional support, who held everything on her back, she learned that her role in the world is to sustain others, never to be sustained. If she grew up hearing "you're so mature, you're so strong" compliments that were actually burdens, she learned that her strength wasn't to protect her, but to protect others. And asking for help became weakness. If she grew up with fear of being abandoned or rejected, she learned to make herself indispensable. Because if she's too useful, if she makes his life too easy, he won't leave her. Right? Wrong. Because a relationship isn't a service provision. And she's not his emotional employee. But while she believes she needs to do something to deserve love, she'll keep giving until she has nothing left. As she continues giving more than she receives, the symptoms intensify. She develops chronic emotional exhaustion. No matter how much she sleeps, she wakes up tired. Because carrying a relationship alone is work for two, and she's doing it alone. She begins feeling silent resentment. She doesn't speak, but accumulates. Every time he forgets something important, every time he doesn't do even half of what she does. And one day, she explodes over something small, and he doesn't understand where all that exaggeration came from. She loses the capacity to receive. When someone tries to care for her, give her something, do something for her, she doesn't know how to react. She minimizes, refuses, or tries to reciprocate immediately, because she forgot what it's like to be cared for. And worst, She begins measuring the relationship by how much she gives, not by how much it nurtures her. She takes pride in how much she endured, how much she did, how much she gave, as if suffering were proof of love. And she confuses self-destruction with devotion. So what happens to this woman? She becomes the adult who doesn't know how to say no, who feels guilty for resting, who thinks love is constant sacrifice, not balanced exchange. She becomes the type of woman who remembers everything about him, but he forgets even her birthday is always available, but he rarely is when she needs, makes romantic surprises but barely receives a thank you, cancels everything for him, but he doesn't lift a finger for her plans. And one day, she looks in the mirror and doesn't recognize herself, because from giving so many pieces of herself, she forgot who she was before she started emptying herself. But here's the truth. He won't reciprocate just because she gave more. He'll get used to it. And when she stops giving, he'll complain about the change, not because he values her, but because he lost the comfort. The question she needs to ask herself isn't how do I make him reciprocate? It's, why do I keep giving when I don't receive? Because she only gives too much because she's trying to fill something. Maybe the emptiness of never having been cared for as a child, the fear that if she stops giving, nothing will remain, the belief that she only has value for what she offers. And until she heals these voids, she'll keep giving to people who don't deserve it. So if there's a woman listening who gives more than she receives, understand this. She's not too loving. She's loving the wrong people. She doesn't need to give less. She needs to choose who deserves to receive. And true love shouldn't leave her empty. It should fill her too. She deserved reciprocity, deserved to be cared for with the same intensity she cares, deserved not to have to beg for the basics. And she still has time to choose differently, not tomorrow, now. Because while she's emptying herself for someone who doesn't fill her, she's losing the chance to be loved by someone who would give as much as she does. And that someone exists, but she'll never find them while she's too busy giving crumbs of herself to those who don't deserve even her leftovers. So stop, breathe, and for the first time, save your love for those who truly value it. Starting with herself.